if you were doing well, it'd be easier to just say, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. Like, when it comes down to the season, when we're not meeting expectations, dude has probably signed a new, shiny new contract and big expectations for him. You know, people can throw me under the bus, blame me. That is what it is. That's how it's going to be. So I know how it goes, and I'm tough enough to handle it.
How are you feeling? Getting better? Or?
Yeah. I feel like this time period of me being on IR allows me to fully heal, because like you go back out there with that pressure and continue to have setbacks because you're just like straining so hard to get back. So I feel like this timing is it's frustrating when you look at it, but if you look beneath the surface, it's honestly a blessing to allow me to be healthy and then finish strong.
I mean, obviously there was a story that you said got sent to you. Has anybody talked to you personally? Has anybody brought anything up to you? Like in the locker room, nobody's like said anything to you?
Nah. Me and Derek talked about it yesterday. It was just like we know each other. We know how we've been showing up. We've been teammates for 4 years now. So those kind of things don't affect our relationship. We just know that that's the way things go sometimes. And, we just, like I said, we just try to take things personally.
Is it fuel to the fire, or are you so ignoring it that it's not even, you don't even want to accept it to the point of like using it as fuel to the fire?
Yeah, I don't really use things like that as fuel, just because at the end of the day, the fuel's got to come from inside of me. The fire's got to be inside of me. So, but yeah, things like that, I just kind of take them in, and it's like, man, I wish it wouldn't be painted that way. But at the end of the day, you just let it pass and keep moving.
How about? I mean, it's hard to ignore. You talk about ignoring it. I can't ignore it when I write stories and people say things like, how do you ignore like social media and fans in general? Like, you don't want to ignore, but like just blocking out the negative people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't even allow it to have access to me. Somebody else runs my Instagram. I don't think a lot of people know that, but I'm not on my Instagram, so I literally have no access to that noise. I don't have the ESPN app on my phone. I don't have notifications set up, so I'm like that. Like,
is that on purpose?
Yeah, it's definitely to because me, I just know how my brain works. I know I'm somebody that's going to compare myself to other people. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to worry and get into fear and be like, oh man, like am I not good enough? I know how my brain works, so I set things up for me to stay as even keeled as possible.
I'm kind of taking it as advice because I'm the same way.
Hey, bro, we humans, bro. That's just how it is.
But when did you start having somebody else do that? Has that always been your thing?
That hasn't always been a thing. I've always struggled with it because I'd be on Instagram and I'm like, man, I don't even want to be on here, but I feel like I'm just on here to impress people. So then I had some people from my marketing company do that after I read a book. It's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. If anybody wants to check it out, it's a book by a Christian pastor. It talked about all those things and just it really worked for me. Just getting notifications off my phone, getting apps off my phone. It's just more present, just more in the moment.
I know you're a guy that likes routine, introspection, things like that. Like, how has that kind of helped you through this phase, like keeping to those routines and things?
Yeah, I'm a person that, results are important, and it's a very performance-driven league, but at the same time, I'm a process-driven person, and it's just because things may not look great, I may not be in a place where I want to be health-wise. Doesn't mean there's not things for me to learn. Doesn't mean I'm not maturing. Doesn't mean I'm not growing mentally, physically, spiritually in the process. So it just makes me a stronger player, a better teammate, just more humble, just more mature player. When I step back out there, I just know like any set of circumstances that come, it gets bad sometimes, it's great sometimes. I've already ridden a lot of waves in my career, so I just know that it's just about trying to stay in the middle as much as possible.
Thank you.